Hey parents, Mr. Jim here to tell you why kids love learning with Osmo's Genius Starter Kit. Osmo uses real tangible pieces that look and feel just like toys, combining them with immersive digital experiences to create fun, whole child learning adventures. They'll have a blast with the Genius Starter Kit, playing games that explore math, reading, and more. Just in time for the holidays, get up to 40% off select kits and games. Order today at playosmo.com. That's playosmo.com. Osmo, learning well played. Hey friends, it's Mr. Jim, and welcome back to Kid Short Stories. If this is your first time, welcome to the family. We are the podcast that turns your ideas into an amazing adventure every single day. You know, we couldn't even exist without imaginations from kids just like you. So if you have an idea for a story, I'd love to see it. Check down in the show notes below for how you can submit your own story idea, and maybe we'll turn it into an awesome adventure. And parents, if you're new to kids podcasting, I want to challenge you to listen to podcasting for 5 days in a row with your kids. It's going to increase their imagination, decrease screen time, and we're going to have a lot of fun along the way. Are you guys ready for today's adventure? Me too, let's go! The purple Stinky blimp lab floated across the sky as Dr. Stinky Breath gazed out one of the windows, grumpy and evil as usual. He saw something, though, that had intrigued him down below. Ninjas? What is that? A purple ninja peeked out the window.
I think that's called a wind farm, sir.
A wind farm? How does one have a farm full of fast air? That can't be true.
Oh, no, it is. It is. A wind farm is it's a field full of wind turbines. When the wind blows through, it turns the turbines and creates clean energy.
Dr. Stinky Breath gagged.
Ugh! Don't ever say clean around me. I don't want clean anything, especially not my air. Wait a second, purple ninjas. No more clean energy and fresh air. Huh. Make those turbines blow stinky air.
We'll get started on it right away, boss.
Yes, you will, but take me home first. I'm getting sleepy.
And with that, the purple ninjas rushed to get Dr. Stinky Breath back home so that they could get started on their next evil plan. Meanwhile, on the ground down below, a little girl was riding her bike. Greta loved riding her bike past the wind farm. She would stop and watch the wind turbines spin round and round and marvel at the thought of clean energy being created. Whenever she would go home and dance around listening to her radio, she loved thinking about how the same breeze that had ruffled her hair might even be powering it. Greta had just gotten home after riding her bike past that wind farm and was now listening to her favorite songs. She had the window open so she could feel the cool breeze and smell the fresh air. She breathed in deeply, to enjoy it when she caught the scent of something very unpleasant. Greta sniffed the air again. Oh, it was coming from the open window. She stuck her face outside and, oh, what's that smell? Greta shouted. She went outside to investigate. She breathed through her fingers as she tried to filter that stinky air and look for the source of where that horrible smell was coming from. It seemed to be worse in the direction of the wind farm. Before getting on her bike, Greta tied a shirt over her nose and mouth so that she could try and block the smell while riding. It didn't work that well, but it was better than nothing. She took off towards the wind farm. Oh, it's definitely coming from this direction. Why would the wind turbine smell so bad? She didn't have to wait long for her answer. As Greta approached, she saw large purple devices with green liquid inside attached to the back of every wind turbine. The smell was so awful, you could see its green stink lines in the air being spun by the turbines. Greta was a little girl, sure, but she loved the wind farm, and nobody messes with this little girl's wind farm. Greta called upon the wind that she appreciated so much every day, and the wind answered. An updraft began under her feet and carried her all the way to the top of the first wind turbine. "Thank you, wind," Greta said graciously. The wind responded by spinning her a tool that was light as air but strong as a tornado. Greta knew exactly what to do with it. "Urgh," she grunted as she began prying the stinky tanks off the back of the turbine. "There, got it." It crashed to the ground below. Greta began to make quick work of removing those stink tanks that were attached to the turbines as the wind carried her from turbine to turbine. After removing the 10th or so, a purple ninja noticed what was happening. You see, they had been floating up above the blimps celebrating their victory of stinkiness. And one ninja looked out the window to proudly see their smelly work and saw a horrible sight.
"Hey guys, look at this!
How's she doing that?
It looks like she's flying, and she doesn't even have a jetpack."
We gotta get back down there before the boss finds out.
Purple ninjas began parachuting down out of the blimp onto the wind farm. Greta noticed them sailing way too close for comfort. "Oh, I should have known the purple ninjas were behind this," she said. "I won't let them use these turbines for stinky evil." She called upon the wind without even speaking. It seemed to just know what needed to be done. Those ninjas need to be taught a lesson. The purple ninjas had just landed onto the ground below the turbines and began coming up with their plan.
Alright, let's catapult up there and get back to work.
One ninja suggested. He had two others help him hold the sides of his parachute as he leaned back into it. They quickly yanked their sides towards them and the ninja sailed through the air. He was aiming for Greta and the top of the turbine. Oh no! But little did that ninja know that the wind had other plans.
Whee!
The ninja cried out as the wind grabbed him in midair and spun him around in a mini tornado, spinning him back out so that he hit the ground and toppling all of his friends over like bowling pins. Not being the most intelligent villains, more ninjas tried to catapult again, over and over, experiencing the same wrath from the wind as they all started rolling around like bowling balls crashing into pins. Dizzy and bruised, the purple ninjas decided to give it one more try. Greta saw them from below and asked the wind for strength. It stopped swirling over the ninjas and handed its power over to Greta. A ninja reached back into its back pocket to take out and introduce its new invention. Oh dear. It was a pocket-sized foldable trampoline. Holy smokes, I didn't even know they made those. A trampoline that can fit in their pocket? Wow. And when the ninja unfolded, loop, it became a full-size trampoline, big enough for multiple ninjas at the same time. 3 of them hopped on, bouncing themselves into the air towards Greta. They didn't make it far. Greta summoned the strength granted to her by the wind and shot a life-size tornado out of her hands. She aimed it right at the 3 purple ninjas who jumped in midair. The tornado sucked them up and sent them swirling forever around and around and around. As purple ninjas went flying, they all ran off as fast as they could to get away from this very scary wind farm. With the stink tanks finally all gone, also getting rid of that stinky air, the wind gently set Greta back down on the ground. "Ah, thank you, wind," said Greta. I'll be back to visit the wind farm tomorrow." She thanked the wind with a smile and allowed herself a moment to admire the wind turbines, all back to normal, before she turned back down the road and headed home. The end. We'll be right back after a brief word from our sponsor. Hey friends, I need your help celebrating a birthday. Drum roll, please. Happy birthday, Sunny, who's turning 6 years old. Sunny, who is from Taiwan and born in Vancouver, now lives in the US with his parents and baby sister, Hannah. He loves Pokemon, oh awesome, and playing Legos while listening to Mr. Jim's podcast. Wow, that's so awesome, Sunny. I'm so glad that we got to celebrate you and your big day on the show. Happy birthday, Sunny. Great job. You listened all the way to the end. And you know what time it is? It's time for Kid Shoutouts. I want to say hey to Toby from Australia, Ezra from Ontario, James from Ontario, Hazel from Arkansas, Cole from Utah, Jeb from Illinois, Martin from Florida, and Rocky from Portland, Oregon. I'm so glad that you're all in the Kid Short Stories family. We could not have this much fun with imagination without you, my friends. Well, you have a super duper day, and I'll see you on our next adventure. Bye! Hey parents, Mr. Jim here to tell you why kids love learning with Osmo's Genius Starter Kit. Osmo uses real tangible pieces that look and feel just like toys, combining them with immersive digital experiences to create fun, whole child learning adventures. They'll have a blast with the Genius Starter Kit, playing games that explore math, reading, and more. Just in time for the holidays, get up to 40% off select kits and games. Order today at playosmo.com. That's playosmo.com. Osmo, learning well played.